There's more! I'm back! CGI shit!
I rest my case.
It was fucking horrible!
Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome to another opening night. This one I've been wanting to get to for a little bit. I know I'm a little late on this one, but as you guys know, we're back with, as you can tell by the t-shirt, another Jurassic adventure in the franchise. Just recently, Netflix dropped Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 3 onto their streaming services. I spent the time watching it while I edit the Star Wars prequels, and oh my god! I love this season! Short version. I love this season. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I have covered the Jurassic Park franchise for since 2015, for the last 10 years, and we've had all sorts of adventures and reviewing certain subjects. I just covered in the last wave of reviews Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory. My thoughts on the show, to make it short, I would recommend checking out my review of that, the original review of Camp Cretaceous, but Camp Cretaceous was a decent series that bridged the gap in between Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom. Now we have Chaos Theory, which, if you guys have saw my review and my other review of the second season on opening night, I've been thoroughly enjoying Chaos Theory. It's a much darker, a much more mature take on Camp Cretaceous as a follow-up, and it's tying everything. It takes place after Fallen Kingdom, but also slowly tying into Dominion. But with Season 3, they tie it up relatively quickly, and I fucking loved this season. Season 3 was fantastic, especially when you get to that the second half of it. I should explain, where we're at with the plot. So, the Nublar 6 is obviously all split up right now. We have Brooklyn, doing dealings with the broker, who was the Baroness G.I. Joe chick working for Biosyn in Dominion, and the dealings with the Atrociraptors. We have the Handler, who's the deaf woman with the whistle, who has the Atrociraptors. All that's going on. Meanwhile, we have the rest of the Nublar 6 stuck in Italy, actually. Actually, more than that, it actually picks up right after Brooklyn left, flew off from Africa. And they come across, in the first episode, I was shocked. I was like, wait, who the fuck is this? Barry, the guy, Owen's friend, in the Jurassic World movies, who was in the fourth one, and Dominion. And he's a prominent character. Now, I don't know if it's the same actor. I would be surprised if it is. Because, I think they got the original actress for the broker from Dominion to be in this, which is cool. So I feel like it might be Barry. I don't know. I haven't checked the IMDb page, but he is a prominent character here. It's not just a one-time cameo. He is prominent in this show. Which made me think, wait, how tied to this is it to Dominion? And oh boy, we're just getting started. So all that's going on. There is great character dynamics. We have also Bumpy's egg hatches, and it's a new baby ankylosaur who is so fucking cute, named Smoothie, which I think is amazing. But it has the Nublar 6 mostly stuck in Italy, where they're with actually Ben's girlfriend, it's a really cool added character. The grandma is so good. At first I thought, oh no, this grandma's gonna be annoying, but no, the grandma's hilarious. The grandma's holds her own. I'm like, damn, grandma, you got this down. And while they all go through all this stuff with all the dinosaurs and stuff, we have the Atrociraptors. We have dinosaurs that are prominent to Dominion. We have the Pyroraptor is another prominent threat in this. And we have just the basic stuff. But my god, that second half is where it picks up. At first I thought, okay, we're spending a lot of time in Italy at this grandma's house. Can we get the ball rolling here? But once they start dropping where we're going, and I'm going to give spoilers with this review, once we hit Malta, as you guys know, the big chase scene in Malta in Dominion is probably the highlight of the movie for me because I'm not the biggest fan of Dominion. I felt it was so disappointing. It's on par with Fallen Kingdom as one of the worst. But what they do with these characters, what they do to bridge the gap, it's more than bridging the gap. What I love about this, and I love that, I feel like the Clone Wars set this notion. When you go to the final season of the Clone Wars, it takes place during the events of Revenge of the Sith. That completely ends the Clone Wars. We see it from Ahsoka's perspective, Darth Maul, and so on. Here it's the same goddamn thing, except it's not the final season. They bait us for season 4, which, let's go. Let's fucking go. But it takes place during the events of Dominion. On top of that, the whole fight in Malta, I had to backtrack because once the Breaker says, oh, we sold the Atrociraptors, I'm like, well, wait, who's the buyer? And then I had to use my brain. I thought, yo, wait a minute, the fucking Winter Soldier dude from fucking Dominion who had the trench coat. Oh my god, we're going right into the movie. And that's what they do here. We go right into the Malta sequence in Dominion, but so basically, while all that shit's going on with Owen and Barry and Claire and the Breaker and the Atrociraptors to get Maisie in Dominion, which is like a G.I. Joe sting operation, meanwhile, in the Netflix show below, we have the Nublar 6 in the mix, and I'm like, oh, come on, this is some American Tale shit. Like, I understand meeting up with Barry. They do meet up with Barry in between his story with Owen and Claire. There is a moment where Barry gets a call. He's, like, waiting for Ben to show up, and he's like, oh, where is it? Then gets a call. Hello? Owen, you're here with Claire? Okay, I'll be right there. Once he leaves, you could intercut with him meeting Owen and Claire. Like, I want an extended edition of the Malta scene intercut with the show. That'd be amazing. It is so chaotic, and you can literally sync it up with Dominion, which I did, and it's amazing! It's amazing that they were able to do this, and it's so goddamn cool! There is, like, a lot of character development here, like Brooklyn. We finally get to see what her deal is, whose side she's on. We have, the villains even are given time to develop, which is shocking to me. The Breaker, who was the Baroness chick in Dominion, again, henchwoman in the movie, did not give a fuck about her at all, even though she was kind of cool. It was like the Baroness. But in this show, they develop her. You actually kind of empathize with this character. And yeah, she's evil, but there is building and there's like character development with this, which like makes it more interesting. And then we have the woman, that robot-looking lady with the Atrociraptors, who was prominent in the first 2 seasons of the show, or at least the first season of Chaos Theory. And we actually really empathize with this character. We get it now, and it's like, I don't want to say how they wrap up that story, but it's pretty heartbreaking, honestly. It's honestly, like, interesting where they go with this. And I'm all for it, so that was great. And we see more after the destruction of Malta. All of that is really tied together. And God, this season rocked. This was a great season of the show. Probably one of my favorites. I love how well it intercuts with Malta. Fucking fantastic. Now, I will say, with it being like this, I was thinking to myself, because the first act, we're all in Italy with the grandma and all the little adventures there with Smoothie, and I'm thinking, this is a little bit lesser scale than the last 2 seasons. I'm thinking, did they cut the budget? What's going on here? Why'd they cut, what's going on? Where's the scale? And I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe it's just, budget cuts. Okay, fine. But then when we get to Malta, I'm like, okay, that's where the budget went for the finale of this thing. And the way it sets up, where it's still taking place during the events of Dominion. I'm just going to say this, because they name-dropped Owen and Claire. I'm going to be that guy, and I know this is kind of a stretch to ask Netflix and Universal, but we know the Nublar 6 is going to Biosyn's Valley in Dominion. They should at least at one point meet up with either Owen and Claire or Grant and his gang. I don't know how you do it. I don't know if you could get the original actors back, if you have to get new actors for it, but I think we're hitting a point with Chaos Theory, and I'm feeling like season 4 is going to be the final season. We're hitting a point where this merge has to happen. Where these, like this party, we have Owen and Claire, we have Alan, Sattler, and Malcolm, and then we have the Nublar 6. At some point, this shit has to merge. It just has to be one scene. If it's just one scene, I'm okay with it. In the middle of the chaos of Dominion, can you give me at least that? I think that is important. Shit, if they meet up with Maisie, that would make sense because, you know, she's younger and she could fit in with that crowd. Like, there has to be season 4, you have to do that merger at some point, like, because it would only make more sense and really connect this show together, because I love the fact that they are taking the route of the Clone Wars cartoon, where, yeah, you can have all these misadventures in the midst of the canonical world, but at some point you have to bridge the gap, and this is what this season did, and I hope to God season 4 does that. I hope they don't cop out and say, oh, well, we didn't have the time and budget, so let's just not do that. And I'm like, you got to. Listen, they don't even have to say anything. You just have to show glimpses of these characters, like, and just get them to meet up or something. It just makes sense. And I feel like the Nublar 6 has to cross paths with Owen, Claire, and the original gang. Like, that just has to happen. There has to be some sort of union here. I love, like, because Dominion had that moment where the old and new cast met, and it was a very Avengers moment. Where, you know, it's like, it's an Infinity War where the Guardians met the Avengers, and that was cool. But here, now you have an opportunity to actually up them. Because, whereas we have all the movies where all the Marvel characters meet up, now we have the Netflix shows, which are now part of Disney Plus, with Daredevil and the Defenders. They never had the Defenders meet the Avengers, so it's like, you know what? Now you can up the scale with season 4, where the Nublar 6 of the Netflix show meet the cast of the movies and merge those two together. I don't know how you do it, but it would be cool if we got that sort of closure there. Now, if season 4 does that, are we going to get a season 5? I am very 50-50 if we're going to get one. The only reason you would do a season 5 is to connect it to Rebirth, which is coming out. And for me, I'm very curious if, like, there's going to be hints at plot points of Rebirth in season 4, because it's probably going to come out after the movie comes out, so there's going to have to be some connections there and clues, but I'm all for Chaos Theory. This show is phenomenal, and this season really delivered on that. Now, I have one complaint. And I really hope season 4 fixes it, because if they did this with the intention of why I think they did it, it's such a cop. It's such a disappointment. It really kind of pissed me off. The splitting between Sam and Sammy and I can't remember what her name is, the other chick, because they were an established couple since the end of Camp Cretaceous, and we see the progression of that relationship in Chaos Theory, and given the time this show has come out as it did with current events politically in the United States, am I the only one who feels like this was written in as sort of based on political pressure because of the swinging the other fence with the entertainment industry and politics? Because if that's the case, you know what? Go fuck yourselves. That's not fair. That's not fair. They were characters that earned that relationship, unlike other IPs out there right now. They earned it. And this one, it's not fair. I really, really hope they get them back together. They're able to resolve this at the end of season 4. Because that's bullshit. If this is a political play to please shareholders who have swung the fence, that's some bullshit. Fix that shit right now. I'm not happy with that. But all in all, I will say this about Chaos Theory Season 3. Much like the Clone Wars, how it fixed the prequels, the Star Wars prequels, people's opinions on it. Does Chaos Theory as a show itself fix the problems with Dominion? No, it does not. I'll have to see how Season 4 does, but right now, it still doesn't. Dominion, overall, is still not a good film. It is still the second lowest ranking of the series for me, right above Fallen Kingdom. And it really doesn't fix anything just yet, and I'm surprised that it doesn't, because, you know, I mean, I still had entertainment with Dominion, but I could have asked for a bit more. The fact it was set up as a finale. I said all this in my review. The fact it was set up as a finale, it didn't go too big enough because of the pandemic and the budget cuts. So here it's like, I'm not a big fan of, like, the fact that this is not fixing it. But again, it still doesn't take away from the fact that... Why is it the Netflix, like, Dominion plot is better than the actual plot of the movie? Why am I more invested in this than the movies? Like, this just shows that they had no direction for this. And I'm glad to some degree Chaos Theory is fixing some of this. A little bit, but not enough to redeem Dominion. I'm counting on it maybe connecting to Rebirth at some point, but given Rebirth takes place a couple years after, I don't know, maybe there'll be some hints of some of the plot elements and details in the documents and like some biogenetic stuff that takes place after Rebirth, but let's see what happens. But overall, Chaos Theory Season 3, I loved this season. This is by far the best one. I was shocked. I didn't think it was going to hold up as well as the first season. And it is a huge improvement over Season 2. Season 2 felt a little dragged out, but there were some good character beats. This one says, okay, no more playing around. Let's get to the point. Let's connect this with the movies, and let's get this show on the road. So, I thoroughly enjoyed this season. Really entertaining, great character development, great connections to the movies. This is a solid 9.5 for me out of 10. Maybe a 9.8. It's solid. It's probably some of the best stuff in the Jurassic franchise compared to the films, like the last two. This is the best stuff. If you have not watched it yet, the whole animated Netflix series, I would recommend it. It is a great expansion of the Jurassic lore, and it really does add more weight to things. It doesn't fix all the problems, but it definitely does add more. So, go check out this season. Go watch the show. It's phenomenal. Of course, let me know your thoughts on Chaos Theory Season 3 in the comments below. And what do you think is going to happen in Season 4? Do you think it's going to connect to Dominion? Do you think they're going to meet up with the characters? Let me know. But overall, I'm hyped for the next season. Although in between, we got Rebirth. So we got more Jurassic to look forward to. So... thank you all so much for watching this video. Leave a like, share, subscribe, support us on Patreon. $1 more will get you early access to all of our content as well as our feature features. I don't know what I'm doing next time for opening night, but I wanted to get this out as soon as possible when I heard that Chaos Series Season 3 was coming out, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. You will too. Let me know your thoughts, but until the next video, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off saying... The Nublar 6 is alive and well, and let's see how they tie it to Dominion, if it's going to be better. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.